The chandelier scattered diamonds across marble. Jade pressed against silk curtains, champagne untouched in her trembling hand. She didn't belong here. Sierra grabbed her arm, eyes glowing with mischief and wine. That's Dominic Blake. Youngest billionaire in the city. Completely untouchable. Her grip tightened. I'll give you $300 if you kiss him. 300 meant groceries. Meant not choosing between food and art supplies. Meant one less sleepless night. Fine. She moved through perfume and diamonds, her borrowed dress whispering with each step. Dominic stood alone despite the crowd orbiting around him. Sharp suit. Cold eyes. Everything about him screamed power. Her courage nearly broke 3 steps away. But poverty pushed her forward. He turned. Their eyes met. She didn't think. Rose on her toes. Pressed her palm against his chest where his heartbeat pulsed through expensive fabric. Kissed him. 2 seconds. 2 seconds where the world stopped. She pulled back, face burning. His hand shot out. Fingers wrapped around her wrist. Gentle but absolute. Where do you think you're going? His voice poured like honey over gravel. She tried to pull away. He held steady. It was a dare, she stammered. For money. I'm sorry. A dare? His eyebrow lifted. You kissed me for money. The smallest smile transformed his face from marble to something almost human. How much was I worth? $300. Only 300. I'm insulted. His thumb brushed her pulse point. Most people wouldn't dare touch me at all. Yet you walked up like it meant nothing. I should go. This was a mistake. His gaze stripped her bare. Took in her flushed cheeks, her borrowed dress, her scuffed heels. No judgment. Only curiosity mixed with something that made her stomach flip. What's your name? Jade. Jade Harper. Jade. Her name sounded different in his voice. Important. His fingers trailed across her skin as he released her wrist, sending shivers up her arm. I'm Dominic, though I suspect you already knew that. The crowd pressed closer. Eyes burning into her back. Whispers spreading like wildfire. Dominic stepped closer. Close enough that she could smell his cologne. Close enough that the world narrowed to just him. Dance with me. It wasn't a request. I don't dance, she whispered. You'll learn. His hand found the small of her back. The music swelled. And as he pulled her onto the dance floor, Jade realized she'd just made the most dangerous mistake of her life. Because Dominic Blake wasn't letting her go. 3 days later, Dominic appeared at her apartment door. Jade stared through the peephole at his tailored suit, so out of place in her crumbling building that it looked photoshopped into the wrong picture. I know you're there, Jade. Open the door. She cracked it open. How did you find me? I find everything I'm looking for. He pushed inside without invitation, his eyes scanning her studio apartment. Second-hand furniture. Canvases stacked against water-stained walls. The scent of cheap coffee and acrylic paint. You're an artist. I try to be. She crossed her arms. What do you want? He turned to face her. In the harsh afternoon light, she could see the shadows under his eyes. The tension in his jaw. He looked like a man who hadn't slept. I have a proposition. I'm not interested in whatever billionaire's proposition broke girls with. Hear me out. He stepped closer. My father left me his empire with one condition. I must be married by my 30th birthday or everything goes to my cousin Marcus. I have 6 months. Jade laughed. It came out sharp and bitter. And you came to the girl who kissed you for $300? There are thousands of women who'd marry you for free. I don't want them. I want someone who won't fall in love with me. The words hung between them like smoke. You want a business arrangement. Exactly. 1 year of marriage. You play the devoted wife at events. Live in my penthouse. After 1 year, we divorce. You walk away with $5 million. The number hit her like cold water. 5 million. She could paint for the rest of her life. Never worry about rent or food or choosing between dreams and survival. Why me? His eyes darkened. Because you looked at me like I was just a man. Not a bank account. Not a prize. Just a man. And because you need the money badly enough to be honest about it. What's the catch? No falling in love. No real intimacy. We keep it professional. Can you do that? Jade thought of her empty fridge. Her overdue rent notices. The gallery that rejected her work because she couldn't afford the submission fee. Yes. Then we have a deal. He pulled out his phone. My lawyer will send the contract tonight. We'll marry this weekend. This weekend? Time is a luxury I don't have. He moved to the door, then paused. Pack your things. A car will pick you up Friday morning. Wait. Her voice stopped him. Why does it feel like I'm making a deal with the devil? Dominic's smile was all sharp edges. Because you probably are. The door closed behind him. Jade stood in her apartment, surrounded by her poverty and her dreams, and wondered what she'd just agreed to. Her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. One more thing. My cousin Marcus will do anything to stop this marriage. Trust no one. She looked at the message until the screen went dark. Outside, storm clouds gathered over the city. The penthouse had floor-to-ceiling windows that made Jade feel like she was floating above the city. 3 months into their arrangement, and she still hadn't gotten used to the luxury. Or to Dominic. He worked 18-hour days. Barely spoke. Touched her only when cameras were present. They'd perfected the art of looking in love while remaining strangers. But lately, something had shifted. She'd catch him watching her paint in the spare room he'd converted into her studio. Found coffee made exactly how she liked it on mornings when he left early. Once, she'd fallen asleep on the couch and woken to find his jacket draped over her shoulders. They were breaking their own rules without saying a word. Tonight, another gala. Another performance. Jade wore emerald silk that cost more than her entire previous wardrobe. Dominic's hand rested on her lower back as they worked the room. To everyone else, they were the perfect couple. Mr. Blake. A man approached. Handsome. Dangerous smile. Introduce me to your beautiful wife. Dominic's hand tightened on her waist. Marcus. I didn't know you were invited. So this was the cousin. Marcus's eyes slid over Jade like oil on water. Wouldn't miss celebrating your happiness. Though I have to wonder. He leaned closer to Jade. Does she know about Elizabeth? Jade felt Dominic stiffen beside her. Who's Elizabeth? She asked. Marcus's smile widened. Didn't he tell you? Elizabeth Kane. His ex-fiancée. Died in a car accident 2 years ago. Some say Dominic was driving. Some say it wasn't an accident. That's enough. Dominic's voice could cut glass. Is it true? Jade looked up at him. The muscle in his jaw ticked. We need to leave. He pulled her toward the exit. But Marcus's voice followed them. Ask him about the night she died, Jade. Ask him what they were fighting about. In the car, silence pressed down like a physical weight. Jade's mind raced. Who was Elizabeth? Why had Dominic never mentioned her? Talk to me, she finally said. Not here. Back at the penthouse, he poured himself whiskey. Drank it in one swallow. Poured another. Elizabeth and I were engaged. She wanted love. I wanted a merger between our families. We fought. She drove off angry. Crashed into a barrier. His voice was hollow. I was supposed to follow her. Supposed to stop her. I didn't. Dominic. She died because I couldn't love her the way she deserved. So yes, I killed her. Maybe not with my hands, but with my failure to care. Jade crossed to him. Against every rule they'd set, she placed her hand on his chest. Felt his heart racing. That's not murder. That's tragedy. Is there a difference? His eyes met hers. And for the first time, she saw the guilt that ate him alive. This is why our arrangement works, Jade. I can't destroy what I don't allow myself to feel. What if it's too late for that? The words escaped before she could stop them. The air between them crackled with everything unspoken. His hand rose to her face. Thumb tracing her cheekbone. It has to be. He kissed her. Not for cameras. Not for show. But like a man starving. Jade kissed him back, breaking every promise they'd made. When they finally pulled apart, her phone buzzed. A message from Sierra. We need to talk. It's about Dominic. Meet me tomorrow. Alone. Jade's blood went cold. What is it? Dominic asked. She looked at him. At the man who'd given her everything while trusting her with nothing. Nothing, she lied. Nothing at all. But as she walked to her room, guilt twisted in her stomach like a knife. Because tomorrow, she would meet Sierra. And everything would shatter. Sierra waited at a coffee shop across town. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. Thanks for coming. She slid an envelope across the table. You need to see this. Jade opened it. Photographs spilled out. Dominic with Marcus. Meeting in parking garages. Exchanging briefcases. The timestamps showed the meetings happened throughout their marriage. What am I looking at? Your husband and his cousin aren't enemies, Jade. They're partners. Sierra's voice dropped. The whole inheritance story? The marriage deadline? It's a con. They're planning to merge their companies once Dominic secures his father's empire. Then they'll split everything 50-50. You're lying. Marcus approached me 2 weeks ago. Offered me $50,000 to help expose the truth. He said you deserved to know before you got hurt. Sierra grabbed her hand. He's using you. The $5 million he promised? It doesn't exist. Once he gets what he needs, you'll get nothing. Jade's world tilted. Why would Marcus expose his own scheme? Because he developed a conscience. Or maybe he just wants Dominic's wife for himself. Sierra shrugged. Does it matter? The point is, you're being played. The photographs stared up at her. Evidence. Proof. Lies wrapped in her husband's face. What do I do? Leave him. Now. Before his birthday next month. Before you're in too deep. Sierra squeezed her hand. I know you're falling for him. I can see it. But he's not who you think he is. Jade gathered the photos with shaking hands. I need time. Don't take too long. Men like Dominic destroy people like us. She walked home in a daze. The penthouse felt different now. Like a beautiful cage. Dominic was in his study when she arrived. He looked up, and something in his expression cracked. What happened? She couldn't speak. Couldn't reconcile the man who'd kissed her last night with the schemer in the photographs. He crossed to her. Pulled her into his arms. And God help her, she let him. Talk to me. Do you love me? The question ripped out of her. He went still. Jade. Answer the question. Love isn't part of our deal. That's not an answer. His hands framed her face. If I could love anyone, it would be you. But I'm too broken for that. We both know it. The photographs burned in her pocket. She should confront him. Should demand the truth. But looking into his eyes, seeing the same fear and longing she felt, she made a choice. I need to tell you something, she whispered. Marcus approached my friend. He's trying to sabotage us. Dominic's expression turned to stone. What did he say? That you and he are working together. That the inheritance is a con. That you're using me. She watched his face. Waited for the denial. Jade. His voice was careful. There's something you need to know. Her heart stopped. The inheritance is real. But Marcus and I did have a deal. Years ago, before I met you. He'd support my claim if I gave him a stake in the company. He swallowed hard. I broke that deal 2 months ago. Told him I wouldn't share anything. That's why he's coming after you. He's trying to destroy what we have before my birthday. Why did you break the deal? Because I realized I'd rather lose everything than lose you. The words hung between them like a prayer. You're choosing me over billions of dollars? I'm choosing you over everything. Jade pulled out the photographs. Let them flutter to the floor. He has evidence. These meetings. Old photos. From before. Dominic pulled out his phone. Showed her his messages with his lawyer. I've been legally cutting him out for weeks. He knows it. That's why he's desperate. Relief and guilt warred in her chest. She doubted him. Nearly believed Sierra's lies. I'm sorry. Don't be. He kissed her forehead. You were smart to question me. To protect yourself. What do we do now? We finish this. Together. My birthday is in 3 weeks. After that, Marcus has no claim. We'll be safe. And us? She looked up at him. What happens to us? His thumb traced her lip. That's up to you. The divorce clause expires in 9 months. We can end this then. Or we don't. Jade's phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. You didn't listen. Now you'll pay the price. Both of you. She showed Dominic. His face went white. We need to leave. Now. Why? What's happening? The windows exploded inward. Glass rained down like deadly snow. And through the shattered penthouse walked Marcus, holding a gun. Step away from her. Marcus's voice was too calm for a man holding a weapon. This doesn't have to involve Jade. Dominic moved in front of her. Put the gun down. We can talk about this. Talk? Marcus laughed. It sounded broken. You cut me out. After everything we planned. After I helped you build this empire. You threw me away for some girl you bought at a gala. I didn't buy her. Dominic's voice was steel. And this was never your empire. It was my father's. My birthright. Your father wanted me to have half. You know he did. But you couldn't share, could you? Just like Elizabeth. She wasn't enough either. You drove her to her death. Elizabeth's death was an accident. Was it? Marcus's eyes glittered with something dark. Or did you argue about me? About how she found out you were planning to use her family's company and dump her after the merger? Jade felt Dominic flinch. That's not what happened, Dominic said, but his voice had lost its certainty. You killed her with your ambition. Just like you'll kill Jade. Marcus aimed the gun at her. I'm doing her a favor. Everything happened at once. Dominic lunged. The gun fired. Jade screamed. But it was Dominic who fell. Blood bloomed across his white shirt like a terrible flower. He crumpled to the floor, hand pressed against his side. No! Jade dropped beside him. Her hands found the wound. Blood pulsed hot between her fingers. Marcus stood frozen. The gun trembled in his grip. I didn't mean to. I wasn't going to. He moved. Call an ambulance. Jade pressed harder on the wound. Dominic's face was pale. Too pale. I'm sorry. Marcus backed toward the shattered window. I'm so sorry. He ran. Jade grabbed her phone with bloody hands. Called 911. The operator's voice was too distant. Too calm. Stay with me. She pressed her forehead against Dominic's. Don't you dare leave me. His hand found hers. Weak. Trembling. The safe, he whispered. Code is your birthday. Everything you need is inside. Documents. Money. You'll be protected. Stop talking like you're dying. If I don't make it. You're going to make it. If I don't. His grip tightened. You saved me, Jade. From myself. From becoming my father. From losing the last piece of my humanity. You saved me first. Tears blurred her vision. That night at the gala. You saw me. Really saw me. I love you. The words came out with blood. I know it breaks our deal. But I need you to know. You can tell me again tomorrow. And the day after. And every day for the rest of our lives. Stubborn woman. Stupid man. Sirens wailed in the distance. Growing closer. Promise me something, he said. Anything. Keep painting. Fill the world with beauty. Don't let what happened here make you small again. I promise. But you're going to watch me do it. His eyes started to close. Dominic. Stay awake. Look at me. Paramedics burst through the door. Hands pulled her away. She fought them. That's my husband. They worked on him with quick efficiency. Loaded him onto a stretcher. She climbed into the ambulance, refusing to let go of his hand. At the hospital, they made her wait. Hours blurred together. Blood dried under her fingernails. Sierra appeared. Explained through tears that Marcus had contacted her months ago. Paid her to plant doubts. She'd been too greedy to question his motives. I'm sorry, Sierra sobbed. I'm so sorry. Jade couldn't find words. Couldn't find anything except the weight of waiting. A doctor finally emerged. Tired eyes. Surgical scrubs. Mrs. Blake? She stood on shaking legs. He's stable. The bullet missed major organs. He'll need time to recover, but he's going to make it. The relief nearly broke her. They let her see him an hour later. He was pale against white sheets. Eyes closed. But breathing. Alive. She took his hand. His eyes opened slowly. Found hers. And smiled. Told you, she whispered. Tomorrow. And the day after. And every day. His voice was rough but certain. They arrested Marcus. He's confessing to everything. Good. He squeezed her hand. Jade. About what I said. If you take it back, I'll finish what Marcus started. He laughed. Then winced. Don't make me laugh. It hurts. Then don't take it back. I love you, he said again. No contracts. No deals. Just the truth. I love you too. Even though you're a dramatic billionaire who nearly got himself killed. Even though you kissed me for $300. Especially because of that. He pulled her down gently. Kissed her with careful tenderness. And in that hospital room, with blood still on her dress and fear still in her heart, Jade knew something with absolute certainty. She'd walked into that gala looking for grocery money. She'd left with something priceless. Not $5 million. Not a penthouse or a company or an empire. But a broken man who'd learned to love. And a broken woman who'd learned she was worth loving. 6 months later, they stood on a beach at sunset. No cameras. No crowd. Just them and an officiant and the sound of waves against sand. Do you take this man, the officiant asked, to be your lawfully wedded husband? Jade looked at Dominic. At the scar under his shirt. At the man who'd chosen her over everything. I do. And do you take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife? Dominic's eyes never left hers. I do. Again. And always. They kissed as the sun melted into the ocean. Started their second marriage the right way. With truth instead of contracts. Love instead of business. And somewhere in the city behind them, in a penthouse with repaired windows, paintings covered the walls. Jade's paintings. Beautiful and raw and honest. Just like the life they'd built from the ashes of a dare. The end.